Hey everybody, welcome to Cheap Pops. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
We're back. It's been a little bit since our Halloween episode. Took a couple weeks off, but we don't have a lot to talk about because we were going to do some reviews of like AEW here and the Impact Turning Point and the NWA dumpster fire that was a pay-per-view. But we're going to wait until after Survivor Series is over and we'll review all of them all at once. And I'll make sure that he sees them all because he likes to just not watch them. But
you will have an excuse why I would fast forward through NWA.
Yes, because it is horrible. There was only one match that I cared about, and once I saw that match, I was done. Well, I don't know if anybody has seen the news, but the big AEW signing is Will Ospreay. I think that's really cool. I mean, remember that match he had with Mike Bailey in Impact? He's a really good performer. His contract isn't up with New Japan yet, so I believe he's going to be there for Revolution. That's when his contract is up. So, and I don't know if he's going to... He was supposed to do something with TNA when they relaunch as TNA, so I'd like to see that too, but I think it's a great signing for him. He's really good. He has good matches. I mean, if a guy could pull...
Chris Jericho now.
Right. One thing you sent me was Buff Bagwell having a DUI. Well, Nick Hogan had one too.
Oh!
So...
Surprise.
There's so many people, wrestling people, that just cannot get out of their own way. And, of course... Tammy Sitch, she's going to be sentenced on the 27th.
If you don't know who that is, Sonny.
Sonny, yeah. So right after Thanksgiving, she's going to be sentenced, and the sentence looks like it's going to be 25 years. So she'll be probably in her mid-70s by the time she gets out. So, I hate to say, I'm not saying she deserves it, but at some point, you've got to be held accountable for what you've done, and you ended up, your demons, you can call them demons if you want, but your bad choices, you ended up killing somebody. So,
right.
I feel bad that you're going to jail, but on on one hand, if I was their family, I wouldn't be sad that you're going to jail.
Right.
So, one thing, you go through the network just like I go through the network. I was watching 1996 Raws. They're not that good. And they're made even worse by Vince McMahon on commentary. I don't think I've ever heard the word maneuver that much in my entire life. And I was watching leading up to SummerSlam.
Yes.
Vince McMahon cannot say the word brawl. He says bra every time. For somebody that acts like they're so intelligent and everything, how can you not say the word brawl? I don't understand. Did you notice that? Like, he can't say the word brawl. It's so weird to me. Like, I don't know, but I don't know if I'm going to go into 97 because I'm having a hard time getting through 96 because it just... I've heard people like Bruce Pritchard and Eric Bischoff and a lot of people say that Vince McMahon is good on commentary, and I don't understand. I don't understand.
I started watching 93 and I'm like, nope, I'm going back to WCW because right. I love listening to Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, I do too, yeah. But just Vince McMahon is just horrible.
And Mike Tenay.
Yeah, Tenay's great. Tenay, I have to agree with Eric Bischoff. I don't think Mike Tenay was good at play-by-play. He was much better when he was in WCW and he was the color analyst.
Yes.
Talking about the luchadors or, the background of the Japanese guys or any of that. I thought he was better at that, but Tenay was really good.
And, yes, throw Bobby Heenan on commentary. I love it. And your favorite, Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty was great. If you had Tony Schiavone, Dusty, and Bobby Heenan, it was just...
It was magic, people.
It really was. I mean, even when you threw Mike Tenay in and you made it a four-man booth, because then Dusty would play off of Mike Tenay. He wobble-legged him, the box ain't there no more. I think my favorite one was when they were doing the dog collar match with the Nasty Boys against Public Enemy, and Dusty's like, it's a rubber shark. He's beating him with a rubber shark. It's just, It's such good stuff. If you can go back and watch from 96 and 97 when Dusty was on commentary with Bobby and Tony Schiavone, such good stuff. But since I talked about that we're going to be doing a review of SummerSlam, Survivor Series, why don't we talk about what the matches are going to be so far? I don't know if they're going to announce any more before Saturday. We were recording this on Tuesday. The Intercontinental title, Gunther against The Miz. I like seeing Gunther, but unless he beats the ever-loving crap out of Miz, I do not care about this match. The women's title, Rhea Ripley against Zoe Stark. I would imagine that'll probably be a good match. I haven't seen a lot of Zoe Stark, but there's not... Who else are they going to put Rhea Ripley with right now? Unless you're going to put her with Nia Jax, and then Rhea Ripley's going to be out for 6 months because Nia Jax is going to do something stupid and injure her. So,
I mean, look what she did to...
Yeah, she's horrible.
No, that wasn't Alexa that she hurt.
She's hurt a couple people, so it's,
the one I don't feel bad for getting hurt, and I replayed every single time. WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair getting dropped on her head. Thank you.
The match that I think could be a sleeper match, Carlito against Santos Escobar. Man, I think that could be a good match. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm like heavily invested in it. I just think it could end up being a good match. But then the next two matches are both War Games matches. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch against Bayley, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I don't know. I'm going to imagine the men's one is going to be the second one. But just like last time, they're going to bring out tables, they're going to bring out chairs, they're going to bring out kendo sticks. And to me, that's not the point. The point is the cage is supposed to be the weapon. You're not supposed to bring weapons in. It's like they never watched a War Games match. And Triple H is a huge old school fan. He knows that stuff. And the fact that they don't pay attention to that stuff drives me nuts. But the main event, now it's going to be Damian Priest, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Drew McIntyre. They're going to be representing the Judgment Day. I don't think Drew McIntyre is a full-fledged member. No. But against Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and they have announced it. They didn't really announce it on Raw, but it's going to be Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I mean, Cody said, I have a legacy with this guy. You think we're prey, but we have the apex predator. And then earlier today, WWE put a graphic up with Randy Orton on the Survivor Series poster, so you know it's going to be him. So
I just wish that they wouldn't spoil shit like this.
They do that stuff a lot, though. It's not like they don't do it all the time. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I wish they wouldn't do it sometimes, too. I was kind of hoping it would be CM Punk, but because they're in Chicago. But, what are you going to do? I mean, they're still teasing that a match, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to have a match. And if that's going to be CM Punk, I think that's kind of a letdown because I think he would be better for the War Games match. But I don't see them bringing in Punk until at least the Royal Rumble if they're going to bring him in for anything. So,
or even sign him.
Yeah, I think they'd be stupid not to sign him with how much buzz he's got. And
Tony Khan, you're still stupid for firing him.
I believe so too. Because you need a lot of star power, and having Adam Copeland is cool, but CM Punk was bringing in a lot of money and a lot of merchandise and a lot of eyeballs, and the show Collision was really good when he was there, and it's not the same anymore, and I don't know.
And the match he had with Samoa Joe.
Right. Oh, great stuff. So, What are you doing for video games lately? What have you been playing?
Still been playing Mafia 3. I took over 3 territories already. It's getting really good. The plot thickens.
Yeah.
Even more.
What about any wrestling? What about the wrestling game? You playing any of that?
Oh, a little bit here and there. With the WWE game, I got the updated version of Bad Bunny, and I had Bad Bunny versus Bad Bunny. I got bored. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just have fun with it.
Right. I started playing the AEW Fight Forever game on my Nintendo Switch, And I'm going on vacation next week, so that'll be more fun to play on the plane ride and everything. So.
And I've been still doing a lot of what if stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what if Goldberg came in way before 2003 when they're like 01 when they were doing the invasion angle and everything. Right. And what if the NWO signed with them earlier?
Right. I mean, it sucks that they didn't because they were getting guaranteed money, so they weren't going to go on the road when they were getting guaranteed money. You know, I completely understand that.
And I did an awesome what if match, like NWO versus a couple of the 99 superstars that were in WWF at the time and stuff.
Nice, nice.
That was a really good match.
Yep. Green screen behind us, so it kind of blended in. And I really like the cane, that cane that you brought. That's really cool. And the 2003 Rock, and
nice.
Is that the original cane?
Yep, the original little cane from 98.
Cool. Oh, okay, one of the Jack specific ones. That's cool.
Yep. And I put the title belt that came with them on it.
And the mini WWF belt, which is really cool that it's an authentic WWF one.
And I got you the little authentic WWE one.
Yeah.
It was I couldn't find another one like this. I wish I could have.
And I still like it because I like the Big Eagle belt. So that's pretty cool. What action figure did you bring with you?
NWO Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, the Hollywood Hogan. That's a really cool one. The feathered boas though, like he only wore those for a short period of time. He didn't wear them a lot when he was Hollywood. So
yeah,
I mean I get it, but it was he did it in late '98, and then he did it a little more in '99, and then in 2000. But yeah, he didn't wear them as much when he was in the NWO.
But I still think this is cool.
No, that's really really cool. I like that. See, the thing with me is the different heads in it. It makes you want to buy two, you know what I mean? Because you want to open one and you want to change stuff. I've been buying stuff lately. I shouldn't, but I have been.
But I don't know. Alright, I'll let you show off that.
I got the Sting action figure. He kind of looks bloated. Cause the way they did the T-shirt, but I really like this. I don't have and it's got the baseball bat. I'm definitely going to open this one because I really want to display this one.
Yes.
What did you want to show?
I don't know if we showed the Pro Wrestling Crate with this one in it, but old school Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, but it actually says Eddie Guerrero.
Yep, and it's got the roses and the fire. That's really cool. I have that shirt too. I don't know. I haven't worn it in a long time, but...
yeah, that's on sale, so I'm going to probably order another Hulk Hogan like that.
This I was really happy about.
Yes!
I stock shelves for a living, and now I want to preface this by saying I don't grab stuff until the store opens. I wait until I clock out to grab stuff that's on the shelves. I don't just grab it as soon as I see it coming out of the box, like some people do. You know, and I don't resell stuff either. I buy stuff for me. I'm not these people that go and buy all the AEW figures up just to resell them. I buy stuff that I want. But this, I'm really hoping we meet Dan. This is a rare 1 in 3,000 one. I have one of the basic ones, which is cool too. But
you got me the basic one. Right. I really think that's awesome.
But this has got like his entrance cloak and all that stuff. And
that is really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. So having one of the 3,000. This one, I actually didn't tell you about. I saw this at Target, and I really wanted it.
Mr.
Perfect with the Intercontinental Championship belt, with his towel, and a few extra hands. Now, I'm going to open this one too because I want to display that.
What's the people that we were talking about that should have had a world title run right there?
Yes, he definitely should have. I would agree with that. This one I bought, we've talked about a guy, and we're going to talk about him later, Mikey Cheese. I bought this one from Mikey Cheese. You saw this.
Yes.
Brother Love, and he's got the microphone, he's got his glasses on, the red face.
I think they have him on sale on Target right now.
Yeah, At first, when I saw this, I thought, because the way the binding of the book looks, I thought it was the kilt that he wore, but it's actually the Book of Love.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I kind of want to get another one just so I can open one, because I really like this. But this one is for you. I saw this, and I thought you would enjoy this.
Yes! Scott Steiner!
It is the WWE one, you know what I mean? It's not the WCW one, but
I love it.
I thought you would really like that. And that's the first one I've ever seen where the plastic doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. That's the first time I've ever seen that. So, but I thought you would really like that. So
I'll still hang it up on the wall.
Yeah.
Even though that it's ripped a little bit in the back.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But I thought you would really like that, so I grabbed that for you.
Oh, look, they got your favorite person on the back.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Braun Strowman, so. Alright, so, let's see.
Oh, should we...
What?
I do want to get a second one, and I'm going to try to replicate the WCW Scott Steiner in the pimp suit.
Oh, alright. Alright. So, if you've ever watched us before, we like to unbox crates. We both get the
Pro Wrestling
crate, and I get the Pro Wrestling Loot crate. It did not come in a special box this time, which I was surprised about. We will unbox the Pro Wrestling crate
when they come.
Yeah, which it should. Hopefully, it should by our next episode.
Hey, last time you got another action figure in it.
Right. I started opening this because I did not realize that it was just going to come in a generic brown box. Usually, it comes in an actual box that says Pro Wrestling Loot. So I did tear the tape on it, but I did not open up the box until I realized, what it was. Oh, a Funko. An Amazon exclusive Funko.
A Finn Balor.
A Finn Balor Amazon exclusive.
That's awesome.
I'm not mad at that. I like that.
And you like Funkos.
I do like Funkos, so that's cool. Let's see, what's the pin? Oh, the Outrunners. These guys have been on AEW lately as a tag team, so that's cool. I like getting pins. What's the shirt this time?
And I know you like getting patches, too.
I do. Let's see. Oh, it's a Rudo, 100% Rudo Luchador.
Sweet!
That's cool. And I like, the gray shirts are always kind of softer. I kind of like that. So
right?
That's cool. Let's see. Is that all?
No, you got an autograph.
Oh, wait, got a poster. Not just
Sweet.
Got a poster. What's the poster? Terry Funk.
Yeah!
Blowing fire, and that's cool.
Not just him blowing fire, but at Cactus Jack.
Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. Yeah, I'll hang that up behind us one day for sure. And the autograph. Harvey Whippleman.
Yes!
Dr. Harvey Whippleman. That's pretty cool. And it's a really good photo, too.
Yes.
That's cool. He's a guy I would like to meet at some point, but... So...
The only man to win the Women's Championship.
That's true. So, yeah, that's really cool. I was surprised that it just came in a regular generic box, but I'm not mad at it. I was happy that it came. No, that's actually a really good box. I was really surprised by the Funko. That's really cool.
Oh, and he's got the tattoo on his hand, too.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that a lot. That's really cool. So we will be unboxing the other loot crate on the next one. So why don't you tell them what we're watching right now?
We are watching Survivor Series 2002.
And the match that was just on was Trish Stratus against Victoria
in a street fight
for the women's title, this was when Trish was really coming into her own and becoming a really good wrestler. And Victoria's always been good in my opinion. So, but this is the pay-per-view of the first Elimination Chamber match.
And Triple H wound up going to the hospital because his trach got crushed by RVD.
Right.
Coming off the top of the chamber.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a really good pay-per-view, and Brock Lesnar against the Big Show. The opening match was the Elimination Tables match with 3-minute warning, and Rico against Jeff Hardy, Spike Dudley, and Bubba Ray Dudley, with the return of Devon.
And this was really cool because you got to see from the balcony again with Jeff Hardy doing a Swanton Bomb.
In the same building, yep.
Yep.
And like right now, Paul Heyman's in the back with Brock Lesnar, and he's hugging the world title belt, just like he does with Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman's really, really good. I'll never be unhappy with any of that.
Tell you the truth, I like heel Brock Lesnar better than the babyface.
Right. So we went to an event over the weekend, the XWA in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, at the Masonic Temple, and we did a table, and we were giving away packs of trading cards and stuff like that, and we had my Deadpool, thing with candy in it, and we had a good time. It was a good show. I think we got 4 or 5 new subscribers, so, and even that we're happy with, you know, because we just wanted to go and have a good time at the show and get the word out about our show.
And have a lot of fun doing that.
Right, and it was a good show. They doubled their crowd for this one, which is really cool. The promoter, Jerry Idol, is always very nice to us, and we had a good time. We were right in a good spot, right by the entrance. I got a lot of good pictures that I'm going to post.
And I sent you the ones I took.
Yep, and I'll be posting those as well. I thought it was a really good show from start to finish. Well, except for one match, which we're going to talk about. The first match of the night was above average Joe Scott, who's a really nice guy, against Punk. We've known who Punk is for a long time.
Yes.
We've seen him for many years at World of Hurt. He's a really good heel.
Yes,
he's really good at insulting the crowd. One of these days, I think he's going to go too far with the insults that he does. But I thought it was a good match. I mean, Punk really knows how to get the crowd riled up. And above average Joe Scott ended up getting the win. I know he does a lot of indie shows. He's a really cool dude. So I really enjoyed it. What'd you think of the match?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you remember what the next match was? Without reading the paper.
Oh, shoot. The Politician versus the Firebird.
Yeah, and you read it off the paper. By the way, the Politician hates cold weather. He votes no on cold weather. Politician. And he wants to come on the show, and we are going to do that. I've just got to figure out the Skype or Zoom stuff, and we got to figure out a day when we can do it, and he can do it, and stuff like that.
Should be a lot of fun.
I'm thinking maybe by, at the beginning of next year, 2024, I'm thinking maybe around then, so we can get through the holidays and all that stuff. But he is a really nice guy, and, well, when he's not playing a heel, but there was he hates cold weather, and he hates people from Pittsfield, which I made the comment, well, that's fine, because I was from New York, so that was fine with me. Lots of headlocks by the Firebird, and...
Can we go back to the first match with Punk, where
Why do you wait until I'm already into something else?
Oh,
yes, go ahead.
Where he's choking out above average Joe, and you made the comment about the best 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, you said told a woman in the front row that he'd give her the best 20 seconds of her life, and I said that's not something you should be bragging about, that you're only going to last for 20 seconds. But he thought it was a good insult apparently. But the Politician and the Firebird, it was a good back and forth match.
It was.
You might have to be my age to know the "read my lips" from George Bush was something that President Bush said. So the Politician said, "Read my fist," and then did a fist drop like the $1 Million Man does. But the Firebird ended up getting the win. It was a good match. I think the Politician's got a great character. And
yes.
We definitely do want to interview him. He wrestles all over New England. And this show, XWA does a good job. You could hear the announcer clearly. The music was all good, and I thought it was a good show. And we have a good time at indie shows, and they treat us good, and they have good shows. So the next match was an intergender challenge match. Hardbody Harlow against Cowboy Corey. This match was hard to watch.
It was.
And it's not Hardbody Harlow's fault.
No.
I don't know this Cowboy Corey, so I'm not trying to be a jerk about this dude, but he messed up some things, and I think he caught a couple receipts. It certainly looked like it.
Especially with the knee shot.
Yeah, it looked like she legit kicked him right in the knee, but he almost dumped her on her head a couple times, and I don't blame her for taking a couple shots. Yeah, taking a couple shots. It wasn't a great match, but it wasn't her fault, and she won with a scissor kick. She's really good. Any match we've ever seen with her in it has been good. She's really entertaining, and she really knows how to rile up the crowd, so it wasn't her fault. The next match, an open challenge, Lumberjack Sharp against the Music Man. I really enjoy the music. And, of course, the crowd boos him and drowns out what he's singing, so he sings it again. And it gives time for whoever his opponent is to interrupt him, with their music, and then they come out. And the match didn't last long. I don't know, it was probably less than a minute.
And there's a reason behind that.
Right, because the Lumberjack was going to wrestle again. And I'm sure it's going to lead to a match with the Music Man later on anyways.
But the reason why Lumberjack wound up wrestling again, why the match was so short, because
one of the participants that was going to be in the Russian title match was in a car accident and wasn't able to make it to the show. So, Lumberjack Sharp was in the ring, and Victor Vanko ended up coming out without his manager this time, which I kind of like, because sometimes it gets a little overbearing with his man. Nothing against Kenny Casanova, but sometimes it gets laid on a little bit too thick for me. But it was a good match, and the Russian thing with the crowd chanting USA, that stuff still works, and I don't get it. But in these small towns, it still works, and it still gets the crowd going. It ended up going to a double count out, and I'm sure that they'll probably go back to, them going for a title again, but
the match that's playing right now, Big Show versus Brock Lesnar.
Yep. Yeah, and this is the first match that Brock Lesnar ever lost, so.
Yep, and
Paul Heyman betrayed Brock Lesnar in this match, and Big Show ended up winning the WWE title.
Oh, yeah, and he put in his contract, what was it, no rematch clause?
Right, and then Kurt Angle ended up winning it the month later, and Paul Heyman was managing him as well, so he had 3 consecutive World Heavy or WWE champions, which was actually a cool little tidbit.
Right.
I think that was when they went to intermission, and then the Slam Burglar Rob Chase against Corazon. The Slam Burglar's great.
Yeah.
During intermission, he's trying to sell his 8x10s, and he's saying, "I'll sign whoever you want on it. I'll sign Roman Reigns, and I'll." And he sneaks out to the ring, not like the Repo Man, even more over exaggerated than the Repo Man. It's really, really cool. If you don't go to indie shows, a lot of these characters on these small shows are great. A lot of these guys get really creative on the stuff that they do, and I really enjoy it.
And
I think he's really good.
And like we said, we love gimmicks.
We do, and it's a great gimmick. It was a jump start after Corazon threw his streamers out of his hands, and at one point, the Slam Burglar tried to... Actually, he did. He ripped Corazon's mask off, but he had another one underneath, which is always a great...
But what was hilarious about when he took the mask off, he goes, "I know this is Mikey Cheese under here."
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. And then Corazon ended up taking the Slam Burglar's mask off, and then Slam Burger put the mask back on. And...
I don't want these people to know who I am.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And this show lasted longer, actually a lot longer than the last one did.
Ooh, and he just stabbed Brock Lesnar in the back.
Yeah, that's good stuff. The Slime Burglar ended up getting the win. Like I said, he's got a great character. But the main event, the guy that we've... I got his new autograph photo. We've got his belt. His flag. Mikey Cheese.
And you got his t-shirt.
I've had this one for a while. I like supporting him. I like buying whatever merchandise he has. He didn't have my size in his new shirt this time. No big deal.
You don't have my size.
Yeah. But he wasn't selling... well, I mean, I bought one, but he had saved the action figure for me. But he didn't sell any action figures this time. He had his foam belts and all that. So he always has different stuff. So.
But it was kind of good to save money at the show.
Right. And he's always good about, with the fans and stuff. The crowd really gets behind him. So it's good that he was the main event. And he was against Pepe Le Poulet, which, of course, I took French and I knew that means chicken.
Yep.
Which is great when your name means chicken and you're a bad guy. And Mikey Cheese pointed that out, and then he was flapping his arms and all that stuff through the whole match. He got the crowd to chant chicken. It's just, and the crowd loves Mikey Cheese. He's so energetic and so charismatic. So it was really, really good. And Mikey Cheese ended up getting the win. We will be doing a table January 27th when they return to the Masonic Lodge in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. We're going to do a table again. We're going to be handing out trading cards. And we're just going to have a good time and enjoy the show. And we might actually hold up signs this time because I thought of some ideas for some signs to hold up during these. So I think it's going to be a good time. I don't really have anything else. I can't think of... Oh, God. Nick's picks. What did you pick this time?
Royal Rumble 95!
1995. Well, why don't you start? How did it start? And don't look at the paper! How did it start? See, you pick it and you don't even know!
Because it was a week ago I watched it. I should have took a refresher today.
Pamela Anderson got out of her limo and all the wrestlers were out waiting for her, and what does she do? Goes right into her dressing room without talking to any of them.
But the funny thing is you can see Doink and Dink.
Yep, and I've met both of them, so. Alright, so what's the first match?
Can't remember.
Oh my God. You are horrible. I don't know why I do this show with you. You tell me to watch horrible movies, and then you pick things and you don't know what they are.
Because I watch them in advance.
Okay, can I give you a hint? It's an Intercontinental title match.
Razor Ramon versus...
Oh my God. I hate you sometimes.
I think it was Jeff Jarrett.
Yes, it's Jeff Jarrett with the roadie.
A.K.A. the Road Dogg.
Yes. And, of course, at one point, Razor Ramon gets knocked to the outside. And he gets counted out. And Jeff Jarrett says, no, I don't want to win it that way. You're a chicken. And, so Razor Ramon gets back in the ring. They restart the match. And Razor Ramon picks Double J up for the Razor's Edge, but his knee gives out. And Jeff Jarrett, I think he's small package.
Yeah, I think it was a small package.
Jeff Jarrett, new Intercontinental Champion. So, yeah. So it was a good match. I enjoyed Jeff Jarrett's character. I hated him when I was 13 at that point. I hated him then, but I get his character now. You were supposed to hate him, so. The next match was kind of meh for me. IRS against The Undertaker. Now, Undertaker's my favorite wrestler, but in 95, they were not giving him a lot to work with.
No.
When you're wrestling, nothing against IRS. I've met him. He's a good dude. But there was nothing here. They had the Druids out, because Druids had come out with Undertaker before, but the $1 Million Man had bought the Druids, and it just bought. And The Undertaker won with a sloppy-looking chokeslam.
Oh, it was.
He didn't even tombstone him. And then, of course, after the match, King Kong Bundy comes out and attacks Undertaker, and that leads to King Kong Bundy against Undertaker at probably the worst WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 11. The only really good thing about that pay-per-view was LT against Bam Bam Bigelow, which is why I have Bam Bam Bigelow on the table. And, of course, Diesel and The Undertaker. And IRS. I have my IRS Micro Brawler there, too. So, The next match, the world title match, Bret Hart against Diesel for the WWF title.
This was an awesome match.
It really was. I've never been disappointed with Bret Hart against Diesel. When they wrestled at King of the Ring '94, where Jim Neidhart, screwed Bret Hart over and got him disqualified, so he didn't win the title. And later in '95, at the Survivor Series, it was Bret Hart against Kevin Diesel, so they had 3 matches. Well, I think they had 4 actually. At one point.
Yeah.
In '96, I think they wrestled as well.
Before
the cage matches, then the Undertaker came from under the ring and pulled Diesel down.
And that was for the title, yes.
And one thing, I don't even know if you know this, but my nickname in high school was Diesel. And the story behind that was my friend and I were in science class and we were talking about wrestling, and then they split us up and we were in different spots of the classroom, and my friend was trying to get my attention, and it kind of just came out. Instead of saying Dave, he was saying Diesel, and it just kind of stuck. Because we've been talking about Diesel, and so my nickname became Diesel, and one of my cousins still calls me that to this day. So I just thought I'd add that. Shawn Michaels came in and attacked Diesel, and no DQ, which I thought was kind of weird.
Right.
And then they kept the match going, and then all of a sudden Owen Hart comes in and attacks Bret Hart. Match still continues. And then all of a sudden, later in the match, Shawn Michaels, Bob Backlund, Owen Hart, Double J, and the Roadie all come in.
Yep.
And, what do you know? The match becomes a draw.
Yeah.
And, and then they kind of clear it out, and then everybody comes in and starts attacking them again. Which is just...
Yeah.
Which I think is a great way to get out of it, because then nobody loses, nobody looks bad, and you can still lead into other things. So I like that. The next match, the 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly against Tatanka and Bam Bam Bigelow for the WWF Tag Titles.
Spark Plug Holly. Oh my
Bob Sparkplug Holly.
God.
At least it wasn't Thurman Sparky Plug anymore.
Oh God, I know. Oh.
But this was the end of a tournament where one of the Smoking Guns had been injured, so they did a tournament to determine new tag team champions, and this was the finals. The 1-2-3 Kid and Bob Holly win the tag titles. I don't think they kept them long.
No, I don't think they did. And speaking of tag team titles, the very first SmackDown tag team champions, Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle.
Yep. Yeah, this was a good match too. Like I said to you the other day, I have a hard time watching Benoit matches just because of what he ended up doing.
I have a hard time watching him take like chair shots and stuff.
Yeah,
because
you can see where. Yeah.
Yes, where it just damaged him.
Right.
I think one thing that pushed him over the edge the most was when Eddie passed away.
Right. And CTE certainly doesn't help, so it doesn't help your mental state at all. I don't remember the ending of this match because I kind of fast forwarded through it because it's not a great match. I think Bam Bam fell off the top rope when he was going to go do a moonsault.
Yes.
And end up, So then he goes to the outside and the crowd's laughing at him and stuff. And then Lawrence Taylor, who was in the front row, ends up laughing at him.
No, what? Who was he tagging with?
Tatanka.
Yep. Ran into the rope like that and made him fall.
Made him fall, right. And so the crowd was laughing, and then Lawrence Taylor was kind of smiling. He wasn't really laughing, but he was smiling. And Bam Bam Bigelow pushed him to the ground, and LT's glasses went flying and stuff, and LT kind of bowed up to him, and I think Vince McMahon actually went over, too, to kind of say something to LT. And they hadn't acknowledged that Vince was the owner at that point either, so...
Going back to, like, WrestleMania 11 a little bit.
Yes.
Bam Bam carried him through that whole match.
Right, and LT did good, you know,
but he got blew up early in the match. You can tell that.
And like I've heard wrestlers say, and I truly believe it, having good cardio is different than having in-ring cardio.
Yes.
You know, you can run on a treadmill or a stair stepper all you want, but it's a lot different than being in the ring and doing what they do.
Oh, yeah.
But, so LT getting pushed down led to, like you said, Bam Bam Bigelow and LT being the main event for WrestleMania 11. And don't get me wrong, Shawn Michaels against Diesel at WrestleMania 11 was a good match, but the rest of the card was horrible. Like Undertaker, like I said, Undertaker's my favorite, but him against King Kong Bundy, and I've met King Kong Bundy and he was nice too, but it was hard to watch.
Like I told you when we were talking about the Undertaker the other day, my favorite Undertaker WrestleMania match, hands down, 2002, Undertaker versus Ric Flair.
Yeah, that was a good match, and it had a really good story built up to it. My favorite will always be Shawn Michaels against Undertaker from WrestleMania 25. I think it's one of the best matches ever. It's actually my favorite match of all time. So, of course, the main event is the Royal Rumble. I think it's funny that they tout that Shawn Michaels went from number 1 to number 30. They came in every 60 seconds. This is the only time they ever did it. He went from 1 to 30 in the shortest Royal Rumble ever. So it's really not that big of an accomplishment. You know what I mean?
No, the biggest it was still every 90 seconds they went back to. It was Chris Benoit from number 1.
Yep. But I mean, you think about it. He was in the ring for a half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, well, more than a half an hour.
Yeah.
Because after everybody got in, they still did a little bit more. But Pamela Anderson came out to ringside. The stipulation was the person that won would have Pamela Anderson accompany them to ringside at WrestleMania. And she sat at ringside, and I'm sure she had no idea what was going on because I'm sure she wasn't a wrestling fan. But
actually, there was another good match at the WrestleMania 11. The I Quit match.
With Bret Hart and Bob Backlund?
Their submission match was a really good one.
The one at Survivor Series?
Yes, that was a
good one. I did not like the WrestleMania one.
No.
But Shawn Michaels was number 1. The British Bulldog was number 2. Like I said, every 60 seconds. When Owen Hart came out, they weren't doing entrance music. They didn't start doing entrance music until the next year, 96.
Yep.
But when Owen came out, Bret attacked him in the aisleway, and then as soon as Owen Hart got in the ring, he ran towards the British Bulldog, and the British Bulldog just backdropped him over the top rope. He wasn't in more than 10 seconds.
Then Jerry the King Lawler, he screwed him up!
Yeah. King was doing good that night on commentary. He was a total heel announcer. It was pretty good. And when Bob Backlund came out, Bret Hart attacked him as well. And then he immediately got it clotheslined out by Lex Luger from behind. So. One thing that I thought was actually kind of interesting, Crush was number 30, and he eliminated Adam Bomb. And I thought to myself, well, a few years later, they would be Chronic, and they would be a tag team as Bryan Adams and Bryan Clark. I just thought that was an interesting twist. The first 2 in the match were the last 2 in the match. It ended up being Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog as the last 2. Bulldog clotheslined Shawn Michaels over the top, but he grabbed on and he held on.
Skinned the cat.
And only one foot touched the floor. He didn't skin the cat, actually. He got his one leg up and then his other leg up, and then he crawled underneath the bottom rope. And Bulldog was up on the second rope, and they played his music because they thought he had won. And Shawn Michaels knocked the Bulldog off the ropes, and he ended up winning and going to WrestleMania. And it became known as the Shawn Michaels rule because only one of his feet touched the floor. So I thought it was good, and Shawn Michaels posed with Pam Anderson behind him, did his signature, muscles and, doing the, the stretch and everything. So it was a good Royal Rumble. There wasn't a lot of star power in it. I mean, you had like Jacob and Eli Blue and Savio Vega's Quang and, stuff like that in it. But
I want to talk about the ending of the next Royal Rumble.
Okay.
When Shawn wins it, and all of a sudden you see him start...
Oh, yeah, he starts doing like the striptease thing until Diesel comes back in the ring.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a little out there, but I think Shawn might have been starting to do his drugs at that point. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean I think that one was a better Royal Rumble. The match itself, I mean, you had the debut of Vader and Jake the Snake came back in that one. I thought that one was... And Yokozuna was fighting Vader, and then Shawn Michaels just ran up behind him and dumped both of them out at the same time, which is a really cool visual. I mean, one's 600 pounds, the other one's like 450.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. In January, I like to go back and watch most of the Royal Rumbles. Some of the newer ones I don't really like to watch because they're not that great. Except for like if Lesnar's involved, those are actually kind of cool. But
we like watching old stuff like this.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah. Era. I really like a lot of that stuff.
Range just fell right on his head.
When they really actually did a brand split, not this crap that they're doing now, where, oh, we do a brand split for 2 months, and then all of a sudden, since we're leading into a pay-per-view, Cody Rhodes is showing up on SmackDown when he's supposed to be on Raw. It makes no sense at that point. It's just stupid. Because what are you going to go back to it for another month, and then they're going to do stuff again? Yeah. It's just stupid to me. But WWE is WWE. WWE is going to do what WWE does. I did watch some of Full Gear, and I have to tell you, I think you should watch the whole thing because it's amazing. And the match I think you're going to really love because I loved it, and you love a lot of the blood and the Swerve Strickland against Hangman Page.
Yes, I did want to see that because I was watching clips from it on Facebook.
That match is bonkers. It is really, and that's where I ended because I wanted to watch a little bit. I wanted to watch a little bit more later, and I wanted to tell you, Blue Beetle is on Max right now, so we could watch that and review it. And The Expendables 4 just came out, and I think I'm going to rent it on pay-per-view and watch that as well. And the Oppenheimer movie just came out on DVD today, too, so if you want to check that out. So we'll probably do some movie reviews, not crap movies like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but...
I still urge you to check out Five Nights at Freddy's.
I might watch Five Nights at Freddy's. I might. I'm not going to commit to it, but I might watch it.
I think still the best one that we decided to watch off from Peacock for a movie was Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear was really... I really enjoyed Cocaine Bear. I thought that was a really, really good movie. It was campy as hell, but I thought it was really, really good.
And that was Loy Leota's very last movie.
Yeah?
Yep. Okay. And they put, at the end of the credits, they put in memory of him.
Oh, that's cool. So, we'll be doing reviews. Like I said, Turning Point, Impact Turning Point, Full Gear, and Survivor Series, and the one match from the NWA. There's a couple things I want to talk about for the NWA pay-per-view that I heard like less than 100 people ordered, which is just horrible on so many levels. And
yeah, NWA is nothing like what it used to be way back in the day.
So it will be a loaded episode, and we will be unboxing the other crate as well. So
I want to know, what the heck is Ray wearing? It looks like tiger stripes or...
Right. I would urge, if you've never seen Survivor Series 2002, to check it out.
Yes.
It is a really good one. And you can, if you don't have the network, you can find the DVD pretty cheap on eBay or Amazon right now. So
and this is just, I want to say, a couple months in from them changing it to from WWF to WWE.
It's probably 5 months in.
Yeah.
Because I believe it was June that they started doing it. Yeah, it's a really good pay-per-view all around.
No, Backlash was their very last WWF authentic pay-per-view in 2002.
Right, because Judgment Day ended up being WWE.
Yes.
Right? Yes, you're right. But they hadn't changed the belts yet. The logo was still on the belts. Yeah, but Survivor Series 2002 is one I think everybody should really check out.
And the one thing that surprised me, right up until almost 03, they kept the same tag team titles with the WWF logo on it.
Yeah. Well, they got away with a couple things, but so we'll have reviews. We'll have stuff to talk about. Follow us on social media at Cheap Pop Show on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have a website, cheappopshow.com, merchandise at cheappops.redbubble.com, shirts and phone cases and stickers. Stickers are really cool. I think our logos look really cool on stickers. And shirts. I mean, we got cool shirts. And I had a custom-made hockey jersey made that I wore at the XWA show.
Shoot, you should have wore it.
Well, I wanted to wear my Mikey Cheese stuff. I wanted to represent Mikey Cheese.
I can't wait for my hockey jersey.
Yours will be here soon. It just hasn't shipped yet, but it's coming from China, so you got to wait for it to get through customs and all that stuff. So follow all our social media. I have been posting a lot more than we did before, and I have some of our video game clips that I haven't had a chance to post. Like when we did WCW Super Brawl for the Super Nintendo, those games. So I'm going to post those. I might actually post one tomorrow. And just follow our social media because we update all the time, and we're going to be talking about other stuff. And at sometime next year, we are close to the beginning of the year. We'll have the politician on, and Mikey Cheese wants to come on as well. And he wants to do it here. So. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll set up the smaller card table I have, and then you can sit on one side, I can sit on the other, and then he can sit here, so you can see all three of us in the shot.
All right.
Because he's got a lot of stories, and he's a talker, so he's got a lot of charisma. So I think that'll be cool. And we got a lot planned. We got a lot, and we've got another convention that we're going to go do in March, and we got the XWA show in January that we're going to do. So, and you can't go because it's not a day that you have off. I'm going to be going to a Swerve Strickland autograph signing in Queens, New York at the end of December. So I'll definitely be talking about that and posting pictures from that because that's going to be really cool. So follow all our social media. Thanks for checking us out. I have a new sign-off. Pop Guys out.